I know that we have a book launch coming up on May 9th, and we want to go ahead and tell them about that. And I wanted to kind of get you on here to share your story. I know that with the people that I work with, I try to show them that, fear is not an option. And no matter what it is that's happening in your life, you got to use that to kind of channel and persevere to get to the top. So let's dive right in. You shared your story for more impact, influence, and income. But let's just dive right in and get started as to what the story is all about.
Awesome. So thanks for having me, Natalie. It's a pleasure to be interviewed by you. You're such a woman of class, and I love who you are and who you're being and how you're leading your industry in real estate. So thank you for this opportunity. So the story that I released it's actually hasn't much to do with what I do as a personal branding expert. I help entrepreneurs get more clients and to market themselves through branding and marketing online and offline. And the story that I shared and published in a book called Empowering Women to Succeed, it's volume 4, Leap. Yes, the online launch is tomorrow. We are already national bestsellers, and we're excited to totally become international by tomorrow. So please join in, comment, and direct message us for more details. And so the story that I shared in this book has more so to do with mental health and wellness, and really understanding how to navigate that, especially as a woman, and especially as just growing up into your life. So the story is about me and my childhood and how I was parented by my mother, who was experiencing schizophrenia and still does today. And so, in the US, it's actually Mental Health Awareness Month. And so it's a timely release of this book. And the book shares my experience being parented by someone mentally, challenged, as well as what it's like to overcome the trauma of a loved one that is experiencing mental health. Throughout my life, I had to really work on my confidence and my own mental wellness in light of what I experienced. So the book is my story of that, and how I have used that to turn my life around and empower myself. And today, as I coach people in business, as I'm coaching them to confidently market themselves, I do often come back to, the mindset aspect of things. So it was a very timely book launch for me. And I just feel great to have let that story out for the first time, because I haven't publicly released that until now.
Yes, and you know, um, as myself, I do have mental illness in my family, so I know that sometimes it's a topic that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And I don't think that it's a topic that should be band-aided. So I'm so happy to hear about your story, and let's just talk about why it's so important to share your story.
Right. So, as a consultant, and for those of you that are watching, some of you might be in business, and some of you might not be in business, but you're leaders in your community. And I know that as a storyteller, because I produce a lot of TV
Mm-hmm.
shows. I help people develop a brand message, which is all based on someone's story.
Mm-hmm.
People learn through examples and through stories. And so, whatever context you might be in, whether you are in business, helping a client to get a specific result, or you're in your career and you're coaching or leading in the field, whether it's in a community context, you're always in that place of sharing and teaching and helping people in their life. And the best way, the number one way of doing that is through storytelling. We learn through examples, we learn through pictures. And so telling your story, one, it it shows your sense of humanity, that you're not perfect, nobody's perfect. And for the one that is following you and learning from you, it shows them that, wow, if they could do it, I could do it too, right?
Yes.
And so I'm a big believer in, you know, when it comes to branding and marketing yourself, or when it comes to teaching or inspiring in any capacity,
Mm-hmm.
to share your story. It also allows for those people that are, you know, interacting and engaging with you,
Yes.
to get deeper in terms of rapport and connecting with you. If you're just a, you know, a straight wall and you're not really letting people in and sharing your experience,
Mm-hmm.
it can be harder for people to really get to know you and to like and trust you. So I'm a huge believer in that. And you know what, Natalie, everybody has a story. It doesn't have to be traumatic, it doesn't
Yes.
have to be drama filled,
Mm-hmm.
but sharing the simplicity of who you are happens through storytelling. So that's why I shared my story, and I consistently teach on that, which is definitely, you're going to want to share your story. What are the stories that bring more credibility
To you.
to you as an expert or as a consultant, wherever you are in
Mm-hmm.
your business and career?
And that's so funny that we were talking about this today, because yesterday I talked about building confidence, but also
Yes,
having being authentic, right? And we can't be pop-up confidence. And I like the
no,
fact that you know, I've known you for quite some time now, and confidence and consistency is what gets the work done. That was my topic yesterday. And so
right.
I love the fact that the authenticity is there. There's no facade. So what you see is what you get. And that is by far the most sincere thing that we can do as entrepreneurs and business owners for us to be able to succeed. So that is great. Now, one of the questions that dawned upon me, I wasn't going to ask this, but I said, you know what, let me go ahead and ask it anyway, being as though you're in media, TV. Let's talk about if you should keep your personal life private from your business life, because this is something that people struggle with. And one of the biggest setbacks in their life is they're so worried about the personal life and so worried about removing that curtain to be in the public eye or be on social media. And yesterday you spoke about social media and how to be able to get clients and things like that with that platform. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so that's an awesome question, Natalie. Thanks for asking. And the truth of the matter is, there is a right way. There's a right and a wrong way to tell your story. Two, there's a right time and a wrong time to tell your story. So let's first talk about right way and wrong way. So if you're going to share your story, first of all, sharing your story, especially if you're in the place, in the position of leadership. A lot of us want to be famous, making millions, etc.,
Mhm.
etc. But we have to understand that the bigger the platform, the more you are held responsible, and you know, into the audience that you are serving.
Yeah.
So they are going to want to know more about you. They're going to want to hear your story, and they're going to want to learn from not just your philosophy or the techniques that you have, but they're going to want to have tangible, real life
Right. Yeah.
stories to exemplify what you're teaching, right? So you can't be a teacher, you can't be a leader teaching any sort of philosophy or content and not be living that, right?
Right.
So you are going to take tangible examples from your life. And the more people you're deciding and choosing to serve, therefore is the more people that are going to hear about it. And so I understand that there's a sense of vulnerability in that,
Mhm.
and there's a sense of fear in that that can come up. But here's the thing, right? One, if you take full responsibility for your messes and whatever your miracles might be or the triumphs might be, no one can touch you, right? if
Right.
i if i did something bad and I fess up to it and I say, you know what, I did this, and now I have changed, or I have taken responsibility, or I am cleaning this up.
Hmm.
If so and so Bob from the other part of the land says, "Oh, you're bad because you did that," nobody really cares, because I just
Authentic.
acknowledged that I'm now solving the problem, right?
Right.
And so the right way to tell your story is to tell it from a place of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be a good story or a bad story, as long as you're owning whatever experience you had,
Yeah.
uh, there is no fault on your part because you are being responsible. Is if you're telling a story where you're doing the blame game, well, this happened to me, and if she never did that, or if you are putting the responsibility on the other person, that's when it becomes a problem, and that's when you should reconsider telling your story. If you cannot tell your story without taking full responsibility for what happened within
Mm-hmm.
the story, then you shouldn't be telling it.
Yeah, and that's a perfect example of self-actualization, because
Yes.
you've manifested, your esteem is now there. No one can take that away from you. And I think that that is a perfect example to set for everyone. So we're going to just jump right into empowering women to succeed, and that's the online book launch. So guys, don't be alarmed if you see me all over social media tomorrow talking about this. This is a very important um, day for the ladies in the community. So let's talk a little bit about that event, what's going to happen, and what should they expect as we take over the internet.
Awesome. Yes. So tomorrow, May 9th, all day, there's going to be what's called a telesummit happening right here on Facebook, where there'll be lots of women in leadership and or women that are trailblazers, are successful, but that have all overcome and or have experienced life's worst case scenarios, best case scenarios, and what their learnings are. And it's all with the goal of empowering other women to succeed. And so what we're super excited about is having all of the book. It's a book compilation, so there's different authors. I'm one of those authors, and it's a time and an opportunity for people to come online and ask questions and hear some of the stories that are very inspiring. It's a
Mhm.
great dose. If you have the day off, or if you have a lunch break off or a time off, definitely click on the link, be a part of it, and tune in, because it's an opportunity for you to hear from other women and really be inspired to go about and do what your life's mission is or your life's purpose is. And sometimes we don't even have those answers, and so listening and hearing and seeing other people doing it is a great way to edify ourselves and bring us in alignment with that. So that link that Natalie shares would give you access to that event. It's a full day event, and that's the online launch. By the way, the book is already released. It's on Kindle, and only for a limited time. It's 99 cents for the online digital book
Cool.
version, and then you could also get the hard copy at the live book launch on
May
May
30th.
30th of this month.
Yes, yes. All right. So, can you tell everyone how they can get in touch with you and what platforms you're on?
Absolutely. So I live on Facebook. I'm here every day, Monday to Friday, because I love using media, and Facebook is one of the mediums I use. So feel free to connect with me here. Send a friend request. I get lots of requests. So if I don't answer right away, go ahead and private message me or comment in this Facebook Live thread and tag me. That way I can get to your response right away. You can also go to ChereneFrancis.com, and the spelling, I'll just put that in the comment thread here. And you can connect with me there and find out more about what I do. I'm always on the lookout to collaborate and or work with people that are looking for personal branding and confidence to market themselves in a really big way through media, internet marketing, whatever it might be. So
Wonderful. And I am so glad that you carved out time out of your busy schedule to talk to me today. Guys, do not miss out tomorrow. Even if you have to catch the replay, you are definitely going to want to hear these dynamic women and their stories. And I think that this actually proves that even if there is a portion of fear in the back of your mind, if it's renting any space in your head, once you read these stories and meet these empowering women, you will see that fear is not an option. It is a time for us to use that as strength and perseverance to push through in whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether you're, like she said, a leader in your business, in your office or your job, or if you're trying to step out on faith and grow that business. So, guys, the time is now to get registered. I've placed the link in the chat for you guys to go ahead and register. We will be blowing up the internet tomorrow. Have no fear. We will be there, guys. So, Cherene Francis, thank you so much for joining me today. It has been a pleasure, and I will see you tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow.
Bye now.
Bye, everyone.